All right, let's jump into this first question from Patrick. He has a diet question from a blue belt at night builder during the day. Hi, Rob. I have a question for you about how to best balance the three main things in my life: eating, training, and working. I've gotten sick about 1 million times in 2018 and had some challenges in maintaining a work-training balance. Every time that I feel healthy and ready to kill it, I immediately begin to overtrain, and I know this is a sentiment that many share, especially when the overtraining symptoms take a little while to build up and express themselves. My susceptibility to overtraining is mainly brought on by my work's early start times. I'm 30 years old and a builder, wake at 5:30, have moderately intense exercise over 8 to 9 hours during the day, an hour commute home, and then training, BJJ, gi, and no gi. Sometimes I also try to fit in some striking from 6 to 7:30 or to 8:30 if I feel like I can get away with it. However, eating late and needing to sleep around 9:30 to 10 is really difficult for me. Metabolism is working too much at night and affects my body temperature and heart rate variability. I try to delay breakfast until 9 a.m. to achieve 12-hour window with either bulletproof or just straight black coffee after wake up. I don't have the option of training during the day, unfortunately. Some of the overtraining symptoms I've had have been IBS type, adrenal stress, and then the associated depressive mood when in a slump. Most of this gets fixed up by implementing a less is more approach to training. Also experience some afternoon slumps. What would be a good strategy to fuel all this activity for both energy load during the day and training at night, plus recovery? Also, quick things to note: I'm really low body fat, really high percentage muscle, metabolism chews up all my food quick as, and can get hypoglycemic sometimes.
Well, that was smooth.
There's a word missing there.
Yeah, so I had a very detailed response last time. This is the problem of screwing up podcasts, is because you feel like, man, I gave a really good response the first time, and I'm not entirely sure if I can pull that together on the second one. But the things that we talked about, definitely you might just need to pick, are you doing jits or not? And not so much jits or not, but adding in Muay Thai on top of that, and then the short sleep, like, that's just a disaster, man. That is just begging for problems. I would try to dial down the intensity of the training as much as possible, like try to get fat and lazy and efficient. Your goal in jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, should be to get out of shape because you're so lazy and efficient with it. And this flies in the face of the way that most people train, the most schools' philosophies. People just go and make it a very anaerobic, intense sport. I would try to do the opposite and try to make it relaxed and gentle and weight centric. And so depending on the type of school you go to and the type of game you have, that may be a big change. I would check out Henry Aiken's Hidden Jiu-Jitsu online stuff, even if you just buy one module. I think he has the Bali course that actually shows him rolling with the students. So you get a bunch of awesome material, and then you see Henry rolling. And when you see how lazy and efficient this guy is, but he just absolutely destroys people, it's a pretty good wake-up call for kind of what's going into that. So you asked about fueling, though. You didn't ask about training, but the training piece is really important. The fueling, I would try front-loading more of the calories earlier in the day. I would go maybe as much as like 50% of your whole day's calories at breakfast, and then maybe like 30% at lunch, and then maybe 20% for dinner. Or if you could front-load even more of that, that would be great. The challenge is that you put, okay, so here's an example. I forget who I was talking to recently, but they were talking about how to undo hypothermia in people. You get super cold, your body temperature is dropped. Clearly, like, putting them in a warm environment, putting warm clothes on and all that is effective. But if you don't have access to things like that, or limited access, one of the best things that you can do is eat, and eat as much as you can, because it will absolutely raise your body temperature, both from the caloric content of the food entering your system, but also just from the kind of physical chemical breakdown of food will elevate your body temperature. For you to get into deep effective sleep, you need your body temperature to drop. So doing a big meal post training can be really problematic, but at the same time, any type of like fasting and stuff like that can be a challenge. And so maybe that 12-hour fast is okay. If that's fitting into your schedule, that's probably fine, but I definitely wouldn't push it much more than that, particularly given how lean you are and the activity level. What else? There was like one other thing I want to say we touched on.
Taking a cold shower before bed.
Yes, cold shower or this thing called a chili pad, which is kind of a blanket type thing that you put on your mattress, a mattress pad, and it actually has tubes that go down to a little water pump, and you can heat or cool it, and it's great for marriages because if one person's cold and one person's warm, then you can adjust it both sides for that appropriately. But yeah, the cold shower, cold room, dark, all that sleep hygiene stuff, plus potentially a chili pad. So
and Patrick, you also say most of this all gets fixed up by implementing a less is more approach. So it sounds like you kind of have a sense of what kicks you over the edge and what doesn't. And one thing Robb talks about a lot is just longevity in anything, especially in jiu-jitsu. Like, maybe dialing it back and just kind of taking a little bit of a slower pace might help you get all that you want out of it, but not enter into this overtraining state.
Yeah. So yes. We'll wrap up there.
Okay.
I was going to try to wax eloquent, but I will neither wax nor be eloquent. So